Hey there folks, this is Richard of Moviethon.com. I've been working on this video for a little while, but I'm really excited that it is done. Welcome to my horror hallway. I wanted to show off all of my horror movie posters, horror lobby cards, and press books that I've framed in this hallway. I'm going to go ahead and overdub the audio when I narrate this thing, because this hallway is very echoey, and I'm sure it's probably really annoying to listen to me talk in this echoey chamber. A lot of these lobby cards I found at a garage sale just up the road from me. A dude from Mexico had brought a whole bunch of stuff, movie posters and lobby cards, and he just happened to have a bunch of Giallo and Italian and European horror stuff, and I'm really excited to finally show this stuff off to you. I did a previous video about my lobby card collection, but some stuff has changed, some stuff has grown, and I just want to show you what I wanted to frame and hang up in here. Everything from this hallway, to my knowledge, is an original. There's no reproductions in here. At least I'm pretty sure. If some reproductions or some re-release movie posters have snuck in here, so be it. I'm really proud of this hallway. I'm really happy my wife granted me this whole hallway to put up stuff. I'd say it's 99% done. I might put up a few more things one day, but as you can see, it's pretty full. We don't have anything on the door in the back because that's the door to our utility room, and we're constantly carrying stuff back through there. And of course, I don't want to knock anything over or break anything, so for now it's just this beautiful purple door. Did you hear my knee pop just now? That was my knee. Anyway, yes, this is the purple door. So that porno movie behind the green door, this is behind the purple door, and what's behind the purple door is the washing machine and dryer. So thank you for watching. Let's get into this thing. Well, I thought I'd start with the most popular film in my entire poster collection, the remake of Suspiria from 2018. 100% of Italian horror fans who were polled in a survey said they love the Suspiria remake and they are glad it happened. I love these little Japanese mini posters. They're really affordable, well, usually. So if you just have a tiny amount of wall space to work with, you can get some, and they're super cute, and I love them. They're usually double-sided, but the back is like stills from the movie and a bunch of other stuff like that, talking it up. I just like to frame these little bad boys. And speaking of everyone's favorite, here's Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. I love this movie so much, so of course I had to have the poster, and I went for the little mini Japanese one because it's so adorable. I'm a big fan of the family is forever tagline, and this rain-swept poster where he's got one of his victims just off of the camera, sure, out of the painting. And yeah, speaking of Robert Zemeckis, here is his master work here, Lords of Salem. Man, I love that movie, and I really love this poster. I think this is the most colorful thing in this hallway. It is just really gorgeous. I just want to watch this movie again. Must be time to watch it. Okay, I think I might have spent the most of the Japanese mini posters on this beautiful Friday the 13th Part 7, A New Blood mini poster. I really love this thing. That is top 4, top 5 Friday the 13th movies for me. I really love it, and I had to have this. The frame is really hideous. It was a leftover frame, and I've been meaning to paint it black, like that famous song by the Beatles, so that it matches what else is in the hallway here. But yeah, look at that thing. Oh man. The Japanese, I don't like their posters for their own films, as we'll soon see, but I really love frickin' Japanese posters for American or British or any other country but Japan. I think they just have a great way of making posters. And here's my Dario Argento representing here. This is my Dario Argento's Tenebrae, or as I like to call it, T-Nerb. I hope this is an original poster. As you can see, I've got another jacked up frame right here. This frame is kind of broken. But yeah, it still works. It still works technically. I hope this is an original from the 80s and not a re-release. Only because I'm really trying to have all originals in this frickin' hallway. The only reason I question this one the most is because I could actually afford it, and it's really beautiful, and I don't know how someone else didn't outbid me on this, but yeah. Okay, so yes, here's a Japanese poster for a Japanese film. And it's pretty good. It's not great. I love the kind of collage thing that they do so well in Japan for films outside of Japan. But, you know, I love Tomie. This is for the first Tomie film. I really wanted one for Tomie Replay, which is my favorite of the Tomie films. But yeah, look at this thing. Man, I just love it so much. I don't have a lot of newspaper or magazine ads in this hallway, but here is one of them. Shout out to my pal Dr. Giallo. Be sure to check out Dr. Gallo's YouTube page. He's a cool dude, and he barely knows me, and he sent me this wonderful Monster Club poster. Poster, magazine page. And if you haven't seen Monster Club, you gotta. Monster Club is frickin' wonderful. Just like one of my favorite anthology horror films, and it's super tacky and rock and roll and punk, and it's great. Now here's a film that desperately needs to be rescued. For a long time you could only watch this in a crappy full-frame chop job, sourced from an old tape. But there are copies of this out there in widescreen if you can find them. It's, of course, The Demon. The Demon is one of the most blatant Halloween ripoffs I've ever seen. I adore it so much. I can't wait till one day we get the Blu-ray of it. But this poster is trying to sell the movie to distributors. I think there's a lot of information around the edges there and the margins about who's distributing it and how to contact them, etc. So yeah, this is sort of a magazine ad for trade people, like a little mini thing they'd hand out at the Cannes Film Festival or some shit like that. I don't know how well The Demon did. Probably not that well. This is one of the most unoriginal posters in the collection I have here, and you'll see why when you see the very next poster I'm going to show. I think it was slightly inspired by the following film, so we'll see. Hey, it's The Howling. Look at that. Gee, I wonder if the people who made that poster for The Demon saw the artwork for The Howling. Couldn't be the same, right? I adore The Howling. It's my favorite werewolf movie, and I wanted this beautiful magazine ad for it, so here it is in a frame in my hallway. Wow. Okay, let's get into press books. Here is a press book for La Residencia, aka The House That Screamed. I am a huge fan of this beautiful movie. It's so creepy and wonderful, a little kinky. It's something. I love it. But for a while there, press books were really cheap. They're kind of like this forgotten thing. So you can find Spanish or Italian, British horror movies in their wonderful press book format, which, press book has got all the ways to sell the film on the inside, little tiny variations of the ads for newspaper people to use. They're usually 3-color, like black, white, and purple, or black, white, and red, black, white, and green. But yeah, press books are really fun. And I just frame them and put them on the wall. Yay! Okay, here we go. Oh boy, I love this one. I'm in a weird place in my head right now because Madhouse, starring Vincent Price, is currently my favorite Vincent Price movie. I don't know why. This one really just speaks to me for some reason. It's a lot like Theater of Blood. This one's kind of got some Giallo vibes to it. I really love it. Oh my god. Hey, it's Schizoid, but not the Schizoid with Klaus Kinski. This is aka A Lizard in a Woman's Skin with Florinda Balkan, directed by good old Lucio Fulci. I'm loving how they're doubling down on the one scene that has bats in it. I really love that. This is a fun one because on the inside it recommends to distributors how to market this film. They're like, hey, because Florinda Balkan wears a lot of cool fashions and furs, you should take posters of this movie down to like clothes shops or trendy shops for women to get them excited about seeing Florinda Balkan in all these beautiful outfits. This is literally the advice they give to distributors in this press book. It's so cute. I adore it. Here's my not so subtly perverted one. This is the Devil's Wedding Night, starring good old Rosal Beneri. It's perverted because it says Satan is coming. Very funny. Wow. Fun stuff. This is a favorite of mine, this film, because I love Rosal Beneri. I love gothic Italian horror. And of course, it was shot by legendary Joe D'Amato on the camera. It was before he had started directing his own features. He was shooting all kinds of stuff, and this movie's really pretty, despite being really cheesy and frickin' silly. Love it. Okay, so this movie has a blonde woman in it, but the real star of the show, of course, is Edwidge Fenech. This is All the Colors of the Dark by Sergio Martino, and it is the lovely retitling for the English market called They're Coming to Get You. It's just one of the funniest things, one of the funniest retitlings. In this poster, it's like promising zombies and or at least ghouls, and you ain't getting none of that in All the Colors of the Dark. Okay, this one is super cool. This has a very interesting poster, and it has a very interesting trailer where it's got this guy in a straitjacket who's gone insane by attending this triple feature of Revenge of the Living Dead, Curse of the Living Dead, and Fangs of the Living Dead. Revenge of the Living Dead is the retitling of The Murder Clinic, and Curse of the Living Dead is the retitling of Kill Baby Kill, and Fangs of the Living Dead is just Fangs of the Living Dead. This comes with a wonderful insurance card you're supposed to fill out so that the theater won't be liable if you go insane or die as a result of this triple feature. The funny thing is, the actual full color poster of this on eBay is like $200 easily, whereas this poster was definitely way cheaper than that. I can't remember how much I paid for it, but I just love this little piece of schlock. Here is one of the pieces I got at that garage sale up the road from me, where the dude had all the Mexican lobby cards and Mexican posters and stuff. And this one is a festival in a little theater somewhere in Mexico with, I think these are all Vincent Price movies retitled in Spanish, and it's pretty fun. I was really excited to find this poster, and I was like, whoa, what are all these obscure movies? And as soon as I started looking them up, I immediately found them as the Spanish titles of all kinds of good old Vinny P movies. But I just love the idea of this festival. It just sounds so great. Lucky people getting to see all that good stuff. Okay, now we're getting into the nitty gritty here. Mexican lobby card for Lucio Fulci's Zombie 2, aka Zombie, aka Zombie Flesh Eaters, aka Gone with the Wind. Now this is magic. I can't believe I own this. This is like a dream that I have something like this in my house, and the fact that I paid next to nothing for it is wild. Just wild. I don't know what else to say. I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. Ricardo Freda in the house with Barbara Steele. Oh boy. Yeah, so here it is, The Horrible Secret of Dr. Hitchcock. I got this one on eBay. I have no regrets. It cost a little bit more than some of the others, and the seller contacted me to apologize for the one he was selling me had a tear in it. So he threw in another one to make up for it, and I was like, you didn't have to do that, dude. I didn't care about that tear. These aren't mint, as long as they're not moldy or they're so disintegrated that you can't see what it is. That's not good. Yeah, look at that thing. Man. They should just talk about necrophilia in that poster. I think that would draw people in. Everyone loves necrophilia. No horror hallway would be complete without some Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And here's the Spanish lobby card for Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, 1987. Or was it 88? Anyway, it's one of those years. It came out one of those years. Look at that thing. Oh man, my main man Paul Naschy here with the werewolf versus the vampire women, aka Werewolf Shadow. This was this was my first Paul Naschy. I'd never heard of him before I found this movie, and I'm a huge fan of it. I love Paul Naschy's cinema. his cinemations. I love Paul Naschy's filmography. I feel so blessed to have this frickin' lobby card. It's gorgeous. We might just be seeing Leon Klimovsky, the director of this film, again in this hallway. We shall see. Oh, wow. Yeah. In my top 3 favorite Mario Bava movies is a little movie called Baron Blood. And here is an excellent lobby card for Baron Blood. I love all the colors on this. It's just really, really pretty stuff. Speaking of good old Leon Klimovsky, here's the Giallo he did called Trauma from the late 70s, I think. It's a really fun one. It's a very small budget, small cast, but I just really enjoy the film a lot. And here we go, another pile of lobby cards I found at that garage sale. Dude had an almost complete set of the Crimes of the Black Cat. I just love this stuff here. Good old Anthony Stephan. Love him. He's always so fun. And this is a great example of a Giallo. If you want to show people what a Giallo is, throw on Crimes of the Black Cat. They will totally flip out. It's so great. So yeah, if my memory serves me correctly, when I was going through all the lobby cards at this dude's garage sale, the first thing I spotted was the Red Queen Kills 7 Times, pictured here under its Spanish title. And this is the moment where I really broke from reality. I still think I dreamt this. Just how often do you find something that's so catered to your tastes in such a random, unexpected location? And then when he told me that, he wanted like 50 cents a piece for these things, I was freaking out. Like, I couldn't believe it. I've had dreams like this, where I've dreamt, where I've found that box in a retail store with all of the cool stuff that I didn't know I needed, I feel really, really, really blessed to have found this stuff. It's just crazy. I don't deserve these things, but they're mine anyway. Haha. Okay, I did not get this for 50 cents. I spent a lot more to track down the lobby card for my favorite Spanish horror film of all time. One of my favorite films of all time, called Horror Rises from the Tomb, starring good old Paul Naschy. This movie has everything you could want. I adore it. The seller gave me the clothed version and the unclothed version, so the lady there would be topless normally, but for the delicate eyes of theater goers, they made a clothed version. And I just went ahead and put the clothed one up. I don't know why. I could probably put the naked booby one up, but I didn't. I don't know. I got scared. Speaking of Joe D'Amato, speaking of Halloween ripoffs, here we are with good old Absurd, aka Rosso Sangue, aka Anthropophagus 2. This is one of the first horror films I ever saw as a kid. I caught this on TV when I was very young, maybe like 8 years old, and I was just completely entranced by it. Just great. This one takes me right back to childhood. I love it. And here is Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key. Good old Sergio Martino back again. I really, really love this one. It was my favorite Martino for a long time, but All the Colors of the Dark is now my favorite Sergio Martino. I just adore that one. But this one is an excellent film. It and Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward are just so good. And this one has the unfortunate kitty with its eyeball missing, but it is obviously a little artist rendition there. And although the cat gets really pissed off in Your Vice is a Locked Room and Only I Have the Key, I don't think they hurt any cats in it more than just really stressed them out, which is not cool. Leave the kitties alone. Okay, one of my favorite Hammer horror films. I actually bought the set of this long before I saw the movie, so at that garage sale, the dude had not only did he have a complete set of the lobby cards for Satanic Rites of Dracula, he had a couple of spares. So what I did was I kept a couple for myself, the spares, and sent the whole set to my buddy Brad, because I knew he was a big fan of this one. He's a really big fan of Hammer horror, but especially this film. And so yeah, here it is, good old Peter Cushing wielding like what looks like a freaking .44 Magnum, bro. Look at that gun. Look out, I'm scared of its big bullets. Okay, here's another splurge. This was not cheap. This is one of the most expensive lobby cards I have. This is a one for creepers, aka Phenomena, directed by good old Dario Argento. This was a must-have because frickin' Phenomena is like my second favorite horror film of all time, and just perfect in every way. Whatever cut you're watching, I even love the Creepers cut because it's 85 minutes. But I love that they're playing up the devil aspect. A lot of these Mexican lobby cards, they play up the devil part of it, which I really think is cool. Okay, Jess Franco. Look at this guy. So, the first Spanish horror film that I believe it's the first Spanish horror film, is good old awful Dr. Orloff. This is another one that was at that garage sale, and it was dirt cheap like all the others, and I can't believe it. Really can't believe I have this. It is definitely the oldest. If you flip it over, it's the most like stained, the most yellowed of all of these things. It's really ancient. The glare on this one and Phenomena is kind of crappy, so I'm zooming in here to give you a slightly better look at some of the stuff going on, because the lights in here are a little weird. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I love Terror Train. Terror Train is magnificent, magnificent slasher goodness. And here is it could be French, it could be Belgian, it could be both. Belgian, it could be both. But yeah, this is lovely. The painting for this artwork is just so great, and it represents the film. It doesn't have anything that isn't in the film on the poster. But yeah, look how pretty that is. I just want to stare at this all day, and I do. Okay, here come the big posters. This is the super misleading poster for the Lorelei's Grasp. Pardon my not using the tripod for this section here. I'm just trying to show you guys the whole thing. Yeah, this promises a lot. It gives you a lot of frickin' other movies you should be watching instead of Lorelei's Grasp, and saying, you know, this is scarier than all that shit. Look at this thing. I'm a huge fan of Lorelei's Grasp. It's really good. But yeah, this poster is a lot of exaggerated, a lot of lies, maybe, or just vague. This poster is so vague, you end up knowing less about the movie than you did before you saw the poster. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I love Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And look at this gorgeous poster. Oh my god. Just wonderful stuff. It's like really grotesque, weird looking. They hadn't really figured out how to market Freddy yet. By Part 2, it hadn't really gotten into the juggernaut that became the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise yet. So you get some weird art like this, and I just can't get over the colors and what great shape it's in too. Oh, love it. When I found this on eBay, you could have knocked me over with a feather. This was so wild. They just had it under like Italian horror film, like nothing that would tip people off to what it was. This is a retitling of The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue after Zombie 2 from good old Fulci was a hit. They're like, what else we got that's zombies? And they remembered Living Dead in the Manchester Morgue. So this is probably like a 1979, 1980 retitling of said Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. It's Zombie 3, but it's not that Zombie 3. Yeah, this is a big tear in it. I think this is the most damaged out of all my posters. And I did not care. I had to have this. It is so pretty. Because I'm a big fan of, Living Dead in Manchester Morgue. And oh yes, I'm a fan of Mario Bava's Shock. I also believe that his son filmed a lot of it. Good old Lam Bava. He had to work too. But this is the Japanese poster for good old Shock, and it's called The Shock on the poster. Daria Nicolodi on the poster, looking absolutely stunning with that weird distorted lens, as Mario Bava liked to do. And yeah, this is one of my prized possessions. I can't believe I own this. It is just magic. Oh boy, last two posters. Wow. If you've watched this far, I really appreciate it. Thank you. This is a poster from my favorite Giallo of all time called The Dead Are Alive. I just adore this movie. It's one of those movies I wish I could live inside. It just makes me so happy watching this one. It's convoluted and silly and surprisingly artful and outrageous and bloody. It's great stuff. And this poster is a complete sham, giving you this idea there's at least one zombie in the movie. Dear God, there are no zombies in this movie. Do not let them fool you. And it's so grody, like it's so nasty with like the different color fluids coming out and all the rot and everything. It's just totally insane. And you have to wonder if the backlash against the Giallo film happened because of marketing crap like this, where people were being tricked into renting movies like this or going to see movies like this. This went into the VHS era. Look at the poster for The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. Full of lies, these frickin' distributors were, and I love them. Okay, speaking of outright lies and deception in your artwork, here is Revenge of the Dead, aka Zader from Pupi Avati. He made this like weird, very little gore zombie movie where the zombies are just, they look like freshly dead people, and there's 2 zombies in the movie, maybe 3 at the most. There certainly isn't a swarm of rotting zombies coming out of a sewer, bursting out of a sewer in an exciting action scene. It is a very, very different film than this poster, and it is one of my favorite Italian horror films of all time. Love this so much. It's great. And bonus, I have many posters hidden behind The Dead or Alive and hidden behind this Revenge of the Dead poster. I didn't have room for all my posters, so I just kept opening up the frames and stashing similarly sized posters. So there's more posters hidden in this hallway, but ooh, what could they be? I don't know. I'm starting to forget what's in there. Anyway, thanks for watching, you guys. This was a lot of fun. I've wanted to do this video for a really long time, and here it is. My horror hallway is complete. Please look at it and go, cool, dude. Bye, y'all.